Run it, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my pen ready. Used to hold myself back, my self-esteem been better. Gotta keep on chugging, ran through everything in front of me. Might smoke bed in heaven, got a whole agenda. Can't aspire to get ahead, so bump that, it's no surrender. Got a dollar flipped up, I'm trying to get it in FT to get them when they're in hand and crypto. Learn how to fix that. I don't really hold out the books, but I'ma learn how to fix that. Some opportunities are never come unless you paying attention, so no, I can't miss that. Moving, MVP, I got the record, I might have to prove something. Big jumper worthy, they gon' have to retire my jersey early. Whole crew coming, had to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket. Yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits. Yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no wins. Yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen. Putting hours in my practice, I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my big dog, walking big talk, young veteran, living legend, bet I'm better than them. This is my ship, I'm a jacket like Letterman. Y'all better not let them in, they gon' rotate this, so I keep the pedaling. Started a chain, the cycle is heaven sent. This is from God, but I'm not your reverend, not in the pulpit. I'm a pit bull in this element, yeah. Said you gon' pull up, then settle it, yeah. I've been married to this hustle, this is my ring, watch I step in it, yeah. And I ain't even got a yard, but I'ma get it here. Watch I touch down, pulling plans out the clutch. Everybody getting crushed, the cut down is for us now. Have to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket, yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits, yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no wins, yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen, putting hours in my practice, I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my. Yeah.
Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Yeah, I need it now, told him on the lay. I've been moving, dog, yeah, I'm on the way. I don't hear the talk, don't care what they say. I don't got no patience, I can't ever wait. I've been trying to get it, running up all these digits. And I've been in the gym, I've been up doing minutes. I just put in that work, told them it's strictly business. And I see through the face, they all just burning bridges. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Yeah, they don't want it done like I want it, dog. Yeah, they say they want it, then they took the summer off. I've been going down the list, checking numbers off. I was checking on your numbers, told them something's off. I was at the bottom, now you know I'm climbing. Now they sending deals, they know I ain't signing. They been trying to sell it, they know I ain't buying. When they send a text, dog, I ain't replying. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On the road, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday. Sorry, I got a new hat on, guys. Gotta take that sticker off. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Frankie Candles live stream where we're live every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Low key, is this chair like extra propped up today? Finally, this chair's on good behavior. But what is going on, Mafia? Welcome back to another live stream. We're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin here as we are quite literally in the same spot that we've been on every live stream for the past 2 days. But I want to cover this price action, guys, as Bitcoin is nearing the bottom of its local range. Are we going to see the bottom of that range come in? It is coming in at about 63.4. Are we going to see some lower prices come in here, or are we simply going to bounce off the golden pocket that we're tapping right now? I want to go over the price action with you guys, show you the key levels of support and resistance. Probably won't spend too much time on Bitcoin today. Like I said, not too much to update there, but then we'll take a look at the altcoins. Hopefully, what is with it? Guys, Guys, the chair starts working, the mic starts breaking. Unbelievable. But I want to take a look at Bitcoin with you guys briefly here. I want to take a little bit more of a zoomed out view and kind of compare history to our current price action as we have done over the past couple of live streams. But once we get through that, I want to take a look at some of those altcoins. And like I said, hey, shout out to Anthony Sultan. What is going on, bro? Thank you for being here. He says, how's it going, Frankie? Other than this microphone trying to troll me live on stream here, I am doing it pretty good, brother. But I want to take a look at the altcoins with you guys. But yeah, we'll do a quick market update. Like I said, Bitcoin is literally just, I don't know if Bitcoin's ever going to move again, guys, unfortunately. But before we get into it, don't forget to smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get gives you guys some free chances to win some free crypto. And as you guys can see here, I'm rocking a new Frankie Candles hat colorway here. Pretty fire. I like this one. This is probably my new favorite. It's like a little faded, speckled, I don't know. But if you guys want to check out the hats and you want to purchase one for yourself, if you don't want to wait for the giveaway, you can check out FrankieCandlesTrading.com. We also have all our deals on that page as well. If you guys are looking for a place to trade, if you're looking for indicators, you can save money with almost every single link we have. And if you want to pick up a hat, we got a ton of different colors. I was overdue for a new hat for quite a while. It felt weird having that a new haircut with like a gross hat. But anyway, guys, shout out to the CandleMafia. Smash that button. Smash that button. Smash the like button, guys. Make sure you hit the right button. But let's go ahead and say what's up to the chat here real quick before we jump into the charts. Shout out to Support Us. Support us. Shout out to you, brother. Support us and smash that like button. What is going on, bro? He says hello, and I'm saying hello. But what is going on? We got Hotto Crypto. What is going on? Said nice color combo. This is one of my favorites. I do have to say the military green one is probably my actual favorite color. That one's super fire. But as far as the back of the hat, I think this might be my favorite pattern. But shout out to Jay Gilly. What is going on? We got Bean Pot in the house. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you for being here. Hotto Crypto. What is going on? We got Edward Torres. What is going on, bro? We got Crypto 101 says we need more green names. I need devs to do something. Shout out to Crypto 101. If we hit 550 likes, guys, I will have Tony drop another 50 Frankie Candles memberships on you guys. So smash out that like button. 550 is what we're going for. I'll even give away hats and memberships. We've been struggling getting to 550 likes with this sideways price action. What is going on, Connor? What is up, brother? We got K Diggity shouting out the goats as always. And then we got Greg. I'm sure Greg wants to see Bonk. Maybe we'll take a look at it. Shout out to Raul. Said, how are you, my man? Shout out to Raul. Thank you for being here. I'm doing pretty well here. I got my Super U in a cup with a straw because sometimes I spill stuff on stream, so we got to put a cover on there. Pretty soon I'll be drinking out of a sippy cup. But let's see. Excuse me. Let's see. Shout out to Scotty. What is going on, brother? Let's see. What's up? Shout out to Dread Zink said, what's up with Gala being so low? Discount time. Yeah, shout out to Gala. We can take a look at Gala tonight. We're going to take a look at Matic as well. Yeah, spam that like button. Shout out to Beanpot. I appreciate you for saying that. Beanpot said it, not me. And if you guys like beans, smash that like button. If you hate beans, smash that like button as well. But without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into this Bitcoin price action. And oh my God, Bitcoin is right where it was yesterday. Now, if you guys remember the live stream yesterday, we were looking for something somewhat specific to go on here. As you guys know, I was in a long position, or I still currently am in that long position. From down here, let me pull this position tool. Let me see if I can actually pull up the trade here so I could see my exact entry point. Let's see, bada boom, bada bing, 64,369. Okay, so 64, bada boom. 369, that's close enough. 65 is close enough. So here is my long entry, guys. I am still holding part of this trade. However, last night, what we were looking for was a potential push into our first take profit into this Golden Pocket 786 retracement. And we finally, it took quite some time, but finally we did get that push up into this Golden Pocket 786 retracement. And one thing I do want to point out here, guys, is the reason we were looking for a pullback into this level or looking to potentially take profit at this level was simply because we knew if this downtrend was going to continue, which may potentially be the case if we lose this level of support, this Golden Pocket 786 retracement was going to be a very, very high likelihood area to put that lower high in before continuing back to the downside, which is why it was a take profit one for me. Typically, at this point in my trades, if I do get that TP1, I will have stop loss at entry, basically giving me a risk-free trade, right? If this comes down, we'll stop out in profit, and then if we do decide to yeet back to the upside and continue up a little bit more, we could just have that long continue to pay us out. But we did get to see that, but other than this little shout out to the Golden Pocket and quick recovery, like even though it moved, it didn't even want to like stay at the different price. It was like, wee, finally we're moving. Actually, no, I want to go right back to where I was yesterday. So Frankie Candles has nothing to talk about on the live stream. But that is what we saw happen. It was nice to see it play out perfectly. But what I preferred here to get stopped out of my short at a loss just to get a different move on Bitcoin here. But yeah, we are literally sitting almost at the, let's see, on the 18th at 6 p.m., we were sitting right here at about 65,000, 65,100. And then yesterday at 5 p.m., right, 5 to 6 p.m. during the live stream, we were at 65,000 to 65,100. And then today, here we are in the exact same spot. It is almost like someone is watching this live stream and stalling price out at that same level every single time I go live. But that is, other than that, guys, to be quite honest with you, we are literally looking at the exact same chart that we were looking at yesterday. The only difference here is our daily is still, I mean, this isn't even really different, but this daily is extremely, extremely close to printing that green dot. So as far as my expectations to see bigger moves to the upside, I do think that if we are going to get a bigger move up, let me explain this a little bit, right? If we are going to get a move back up, at least a significant move up, I'm meaning more than 1 to 2% that we've been seeing recently. If we are going to get a more significant move, I do think that daily green dot is going to be the thing that gives us that move. And this is the same thing that we were watching yesterday, right? Literally said the same thing, but we didn't print the green dot last night. Maybe we'll do it tonight. And if we do, I think that's our best shot of getting a significant move up. However, you can see our money flow here is coming straight out, which is absolutely hideous, right? Like this money flow is unidentifiable, guys. This is not bullish or bearish. The only thing we could take away from this is like the hyper local signal, which is money flow is coming out. So technically that's bearish. But with the money flow so chopped up like this, it's very hard to figure out what the general direction of the market is. Typically, we have much more smooth waves here, which can give us a little bit more of an anticipation of what price will do next. But when you're chopped up like this, it's very hard to say. But the fact that we are technically crossed over into the red, it would give us a little bit more of a bearish bias in the medium to long term, or not long term, but medium term within the next few days, or maybe even a week or two. But if we do come down, one thing I will say, guys, let me get rid of these that trade position and that Fibonacci retracement. One thing I will say, guys, like simply put, we're inside the volume profile, like same exact thing as yesterday. We're bouncing off this little golden pocket. If we lose this level, which I do think is probably, we are still anticipating that value area low to come in, right? When we look at the volume profiles, guys, you reject the high of the value area. Once you do that, you're likely to come down to that POC. Once you lose the POC, you're looking to come down to the value area low, and we have technically front ran that level. So this makes me a bit suspicious that we are going to get another move down to that value area low. Granted, it's not that significant of a move, right? It'd still be a pretty tiny move, and to be quite honest with you, still quite boring, right? But, that's kind of the context that I'm looking at in the market. And the fact that we front ran this value area low, and that's number one, right? That's reason number one why I would anticipate lower prices, because once you lose that golden pocket, not only or once you lose this POC, not only are you anticipating value area low to come in, but if you lose this golden pocket, let me actually pull this real quick. If we lose this golden pocket that we're bouncing off right now, where's the next place for price to go? Very likely you're going to go down for that 786 retracement, which sits right down here between our value area low, or somewhat confluent with our value area low. 786 is coming in at about $62,668, and your value area low is currently coming in at about 63.5. And then if we do wind up coming down here, this is where I would assume, right, or this is kind of where I would be looking for the higher probability long setups, because as you guys know, I obviously am in that scalp long that I just showed. However, this is not necessarily an area where we typically see a full rotation of the range, right? Typically, we do come down and test that value area low, as you can see, and we oftentimes deviate below it before you rotate fully to the other side of the range, right? So, many reasons to expect that. We also have our liquidation heat map, so let me go ahead and pull that up real quick for you guys. We do have that liquidity sitting just down at that level as well. Again, I didn't have a chance to run through this and kind of learn the new UI here just yet, but we do have that liquidity sitting down here as well, which lines up perfectly with our next level of support. So very simply put, guys, I'm going to make the TA here super, super simple on Bitcoin. If we lose that value area low, we're going to be looking to come down to that 786. And then as we deviate below this, I will be looking for long positions. But once we break below that 786 and we cannot get back above it, we could potentially be opening the door to more downside. And I'm not going to talk about the lower prices here just because it is like super, super redundant. But if we do lose the Lows here at around 57K. I do think it's very, very likely that you get a pretty quick move down to our next key level, which is coming down here between 52 and 51K. Not only because of our golden pocket sitting here, but also we have a monthly naked point of control down here, I believe, as well. I actually do think it is a EXO chart naked point of control, so I don't think it's going to pop up here. No, it does, right? We do have that weekly naked point of control shooting through here as well. So for sure, guys, if we are going to get a bigger breakdown here, this is definitely going to be the next big level to watch, right? Assuming we break these range lows, I think this is very likely going to be that next place for price to go. But until we wind up breaking out of this, range, guys, there's no reason to be expecting that, right? So if we do come down here, you bet your bottom dollar, I am going to be looking for longs, and then if we don't get those confirmations and we get the bigger move down, the shorts will continue to pay us out, right? But other than that, guys, these are the key levels. Same ones we've been looking at for like 7.5 years, I think. Yeah, other than that, nothing really to take away. I do think that green dot remains the main signal to look for the move to the upside. As we take a look at that 90-minute money flow, it's coming up, right? So this is another thing to watch. If we can get that 90-minute money flow to cross over into the green at the same time as that green dot on the daily, I do think that could give us some kind of significant move up. But as we still have all this money flow, not only on the daily in the red, we also have that 16-hour money flow coming down pretty deep into the red as well. Two-day money flow is coming down as well. And as long as we have that higher time frame money flow in the red, we have to be anticipating any pump to the upside to be, what is going on with TradingView right now? We have to anticipate any of those pumps to be potential lackluster moves to the upside to potentially put in a lower high and continue to the downside. So we really need this higher time frame money flow to flip back into the green before we can look for that big move up. But locally, we are going to be looking down at this zone for potential long positions in case that does happen. So I'm pretty well hedged here. I'm still in the Ethereum short, as I showed you guys or have been showing you for the past week or so. Ethereum short is still up almost the same amount, 334%. So this will continue to pay me out. I'm not short on Bitcoin, although it was a setup in the premium Discord to go short from the wick high here. I missed that position, but I was able to catch it on ETH. So I will hold that position as well. And if things do start to melt down, I'll simply stop out of the longs in profit, and the shorts will continue to pay me out. But other than that, guys, that's all we got on Bitcoin. It's super boring. I would recommend, here's what I would recommend to you guys. If you were sitting and watching these charts and you are not trading the shorter time frames, I would maybe suggest using that time, right? Because if we are going to go into this big parabolic bull run, you're going to want to be able to look at the charts and be obsessed with crypto right through that bull run. I would recommend, if we're probably not going to stay boring for that much longer. And if we are going to see a big move, take some time to go touch some grass, because this is absolute torture to watch on the charts. Yeah, the 30-second time. Shout out to No Limits. He said 30-second time frame, baby. Yeah, you literally need to go down to the 1-second time frames to get any kind of exciting price action to come in here. And even so, any little move we get to the upside just gets eaten right back up, creating disgustingly annoying ranges like this. It's absolutely brutal. So there you go. Bitcoin is absolutely asleep. One thing I do kind of want to mention, I did talk about this yesterday and I believe the day before. But one thing I do want to kind of talk about here is the fact that on the weekly time frame, if we zoom all the way out, guys, we compared this area of price action. Also, just want to say, I know there's a lot of people out there that feel really scared. Zoom out, right? Like, this is what people are freaking out about. Like, this little bit right here, right? Look at all these massive moves we've had to the downside. Boom, 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 right? And everyone's freaking out about this, right? So I just want to kind of preface this with, this does not look like a super bearish chart, in my opinion. Now, it doesn't mean we're just going to yeet off to higher prices immediately, but this does not inherently look or immediately look super bearish to me. Like, just zoom out if you're feeling a little bit of fear. The only people who are really freaking out right now are the people who literally bought the tippy top here. And if you are one of those people, do not feel bad if you're new to crypto. This is a very common thing. People come into the market super late as price pumps, and then you're like, oh my God, it's breaking out. Let me go ahead and buy some. And then oftentimes you are in the pool of that retail that bought the top, and then you see corrections. This is not too scary, right? I said this yesterday. People are saying, oh my God, this massive Bitcoin correction. This is not even a small correction, in my opinion, right? This is just a range, right? I wouldn't even call this like a legitimate correction. So keep that in mind. And one other thing to realize here, guys, is after the halving in, let me pull up the cycle chart here. after the halving in 2020, right, we had this 161 days of sideways price action. And we talked about this yesterday. If we were to see this same exact thing happen, we could potentially be in for another 161 days. Now, not that it would be exactly 161 days, but if we're going to have history rhyme like it has almost in every single case, other than putting in a new all-time high before the halving, that's the only thing that really wasn't rhyming with the past. It's one of the big differences here. But if we are going to see it rhyme, we could be in for a little bit more boring price action. And to be honest with you guys, even if we dump down to this golden pocket, I would still consider that pretty boring, right? It's basically just sideways price action. And in hindsight, when we come back to the chart and look at the price action in hindsight, a lot of people were probably freaking out about this move too. But when you look back and you zoom out and you take a deep breath and you stop letting your emotions decide what you are going to do in the market, you just look back at this, you're like, oh yeah, the halving happened. We went sideways for about 161 days and then we took off. But in the moment, right, people are so scared in here, right? They're going, oh my God, we're dumping down. It's going into the bear market. There's people fighting on Twitter. It's an absolute mess. But on this channel, guys, I like to take an extremely information and data-based approach to the charts, only making decisions off the information that we have. And, as many people were freaking out here when they should have just been looking at this as sideways consolidation before the big move up, we are looking at this in the very similar way, right? So even if we did dump down here, everyone's going to be calling for, oh my God, it's the bear market, not understanding that we are still at that point, not understanding that we are still going to be sitting 240% off the bear market lows, right? So, I know it's hard to say when some people did buy up in this range, it does feel like they're getting dumped on, but just want to zoom out and give a little peace of mind to everybody. Even if we came down to that golden pocket retracement, this would not even really be that bearish in my opinion. And where does this golden pocket line right up on? Look at the price here, 52 to 51, about $51,000, about $50,600. And if we come on over to our other chart here, that is literally the next major area that we are looking at. If we pull up a lower time frame and zoom out a bit, right? Not only are we looking at that golden pocket, but we are also looking at this in terms of a volume profile from this little area of consolidation. And right here is definitely not only going to be the next level of support, but if we did come down here, guys, I'm not freaking out, right? I will be looking for longs down here and potentially buying the dip unless we come down to that level and everything looks like garbage. This is a situation where if we did make it down there, we are going to have to reassess the situation as we are sitting within that area of price action, but very likely be looking at this as a macro golden pocket retracement, right? And this is not, I wouldn't say macro golden pocket, but definitely nothing to panic about, right? It's just the golden pocket retracement from these last leg up. So this would almost be like anticipated in my opinion. But I'm not necessarily expecting it, but it just would not be a shock to me. And it's important, right? Because if you see these big red candles start to come down like that, it is worth something to have these levels on your chart because you're not just seeing the candle dump and you're just sitting there like, oh my God, what the heck is going on? Where are we going to stop dumping? You have that next key level, and then these dumps start to turn from scary into exciting because not only can you be shorting this move to the downside like we do, making money trading Bitcoin, whether the price is going up or down, but we can also, you start to see these as opportunities, right? Because the price starts dumping and you're like, oh, finally, we're going to come down and hit my key level. And if we do, that's an opportunity for me to look for a bounce and make some more money, right? Or potentially buy a dip, right? So, I just kind of wanted to show that, we could be boring here, but even if we did drop down to those next zones, guys, it's not that bad, right? In hindsight, when in doubt, zoom out. When you are scared, zoom out. Don't be impaired. I don't know. I can't rhyme, but that is, just like zoom out if you guys are nervous. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. Other than that, like literally sitting in the same exact spot. Maybe we'll get some kind of surprise move live on stream. Probably not. But if we did, it would be nice to see this thing move. And then maybe stop me out of the long at least. Do something, Bitcoin. Do something. We're going to have to call Satoshi. We're going to have to call my cousin real quick. Maybe we'll do it live on stream. But let's see. Bada boom. Shout out to Crypto Poppy said, shout out to you, bro. Crypto Poppy said, just dropping in to say I walked into the gym the other day saying, let's see. Shout out to Crypto Poppy. Shout out to you. Too funny, man. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Papa Smurf specifically told the Smurfs it's Rob's birthday. Dump it. Shout out to Creighton C. I mean, hey, I'll take a dump. I'll take a pump. I will take anything at this moment. But shout out to all 555 people tuned in right now, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button if you want a free Frankie Candles hat. If we get 550 likes on tonight's stream, I will give away 5 Frankie Candles hats. That's right, 5 of them of any color that you want. Just smash up that like button and, get a free hat. Maybe we'll beef up the giveaways. We'll do a bunch of stuff. Let's get to 550. We'll get like a huge celebration. It's been a while since we got 550 likes. Shout out to Crazy Waffle says, I gave a like. Let's go. Shout out to you, brother. I appreciate you. Let's see, bada boom. Shout out to Big Daddy, said that's a Head and Shoulders we're looking at. I don't know if you're talking about this or maybe the macro Head and Shoulders that we were looking at yesterday that someone was mentioning. You have your head, your left shoulder, your head, and your right shoulder potentially forming here, which could potentially give you that big breakout. Now, let's actually dig into that a bit because we looked at this at the end of the stream yesterday, this shoulders that is. And let me actually pull this up really, really quick because what I want to do here is if we go ahead and I don't recommend you guys pull your measured moves like this, but I will go ahead and do this. I don't recommend you do your Head and Shoulders like this or draw your measured moves like this at least. But there you go, right? You have your left shoulder, your head, and your right shoulder, and then this would be your neckline. And then if you want to see the technical breakout or the technical target of this pattern, you could pull from the neckline all the way to the tip of the actual pattern, grab that trend line, drop it right on where you would assume you were going to break out, right, where the estimated breakout would be. And then that could potentially give you your next big target, potentially bringing us into that $80,000 zone, right? Or $85,000 zone technically. So, if this were to play out like that, could be potentially bringing us into the 80,000s. However, I do want to remind you guys, technically, at this exact moment, daily money flow would not be calling for that, neither would the 16-hour money flow. However, higher time frame money flow has not crossed over into the red just yet, and it does look like we could potentially get those green dots on the higher time frames before money flow crosses over into the green, into the red, which does give us an opportunity to come back up into the green, right? So if we were gonna see this pattern play out and potentially bring us up to that 85K level, or maybe even 81, 82, $80,000, whatever it might be, Bitcoin's starting to get a little bit of a move here, $65,121. This does give us an opportunity to come back up into a bigger green wave, and if we are going to see this pattern play out, we need this money flow to come back up, because if it crosses into the red, it is going to be much more bearish and would definitely indicate more moves to the downside. But this is just in general, guys. Whether you're looking at this as a Head and Shoulders, you could even look at it as like kind of like a bull flag, right? You basically have a big old bull flag here. Whoops. Right, I'll just draw it with my brush because it's just a little easier for me, right? You basically have a big bull flag here, right? Consolidation, bada boom, right? And then eventually you break out. Now, again, I don't trade based off these patterns, but they do oftentimes give you a good directional bias, but they don't hit 100% of the time, which is extremely important to realize. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know why like everybody's so scared of this dump. It's really not that crazy, right? But yeah, that's what we're looking at. We really need to see this money flow flip around, but can we get that trading pattern to play out? Nice to look at it from a little bit of a different perspective than just the volume profile. And one thing is for sure here, guys. If I go ahead, let me see if I can, bear with me. Where's my spider line chart? Where the heck is it? Did I delete it? Why do I always do this, man? I need to put spider lines on the main. I got to draw spider lines on the live stream chart. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Come on. Is it this one? There we go. So one thing to realize here, guys, is we are testing a very important spider line. So we can hold above this. It does give us an opportunity to bounce. However, one thing I do want to talk about here is if we put our logarithmic scale on here and we zoom out, up here, we do have some spider lines depending on how quickly we make it up here. These spider lines are extremely, extremely confluent with that technical breakout target of $85,000 on that Head and Shoulders, right? So again, you have your left shoulder, your head, potential right shoulder. This would be your neckline. Pull from the neckline to the tip of the pattern, drag it back up, it brings you right into those spider lines, again, near that $85,000, $86,000 zone. And, guys, likely it's not just going to moon up there, right? Like, we do have other levels here. $81,000 is a big target that I'm looking at if we did get the big move. So it's probably going to look more something like that. A lot of super scary. The bears are going to be calling for bear market again. Like, all the nonsense that we get in the crypto market, we will see. It's not just going to be a huge move there, but if we see that full measured move, it is confluent with these spider lines, or this pocket of spider lines up here, which is pretty nice and confluent. As this pocket of spider lines is a big target for me as we come up to higher prices if we're able to break this range. So that's what we got on Bitcoin, guys, for the most part. Trying to find some more macro stuff to look at with you guys just because things are just so sideways. Or maybe, I don't know. I was talking to Tony today. I might just be kind of jaded, right? Because I look and trade I look at the charts and trade so often that, like, this move doesn't do anything to me, right? Like, this move doesn't even make me, like, get me up out of bed, right? Like, this is just kind of like, okay, cool, we're just back at the bottom of the range, right? But we might just be a little bit jaded because we stare at the charts all the time. So we literally need these big moves to be like, oh my God. Spider sense for sure. Shout out to Mike Vito, my boy. What is going on, brother? My paisan. Let's see. Yes, Spidey senses for sure. The spider lines are insane, guys. My spider senses tell me we will thrive and prosper. Shout out to Crypto 101. I agree with you, brother. I definitely agree with you. Question is, when? All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. If you guys, let's start taking a look at some of the altcoins. I will start off on Ethereum. I will take a look at Matic. And then we'll do, Rob, let's do a few requests. Balls in your court. You do as many as you want. Just no more than 5, maybe, because I want to do some legitimate TA. I don't just want to flip through them really quickly. Shout out to Nima says BTC monthly bearish divergence. Yeah, this is something that we looked at a while ago. Actually, I'll explain this a little bit, right? Here's the thing with the monthly bear div, right? Let me pull up the bada boom, right? So this is definitely there, and it is confirmed. Let me explain this a little bit, right? Because this is not something I'm ignoring, but I am taking it. I'm not taking it in all seriousness as I would typically take a monthly bear div, right? So what can we do here? Let's do a little back test here and see what other bearish divergences on the monthly time frame have done, right? Well, simply put, higher high on price action, lower high on your momentum wave. We had a monthly bearish divergence. As a matter of fact, it was literally the top of the last bull run. Now, the one thing here is, sure, you had the higher high, the lower high. Money flow was also coming out here. And to be honest, the real thing that had me worried for the top coming in was the weekly bearish divergence, because our money flow was really starting to come out here on the weekly. However, the reason I'm looking at this current monthly bear div a little bit differently is because when you see a bearish divergence, you see we have a huge move to the upside, and then this is this higher high happens at the top of a move up, right? Now, this wasn't like a huge bear market, right? We had a high and then a higher high right at the top of the bull market, right? And then we go into a full and total bear market plays out, and now we're putting in the higher high. So because of this, right, and also money flow came way back in. So this I am looking at slightly different, right? Because if you draw this, technically, this is for sure a bearish divergence, right? But we already had, you have to think about where we are in the market. Now, I'll be honest with you. Doesn't mean that it's not going to play out. But number one, with where we are in the market, this is not necessarily where you're going to see a whole new bear market, right? Like, very likely we're not just going to see that gigantic dump to the downside again. That doesn't mean we can't get significant moves down, but in the grand scheme of things, it would be to put in a higher low and continue the bullish trend to the upside. So the fact that we have this whole bear market play out between these highs, I am looking at this, and the fact that we have money flow coming back up, I am looking at this a little bit differently. Again, not completely ignoring it, but it is a different situation than what we had going on here, right? You come up, you put the high in, you try to go for another high, and then, obviously there wasn't enough momentum to get you up there because the momentum was coming out, but price was still going higher, and then that gave you the bear market. So I am looking at this slightly differently. Still bearish technically. Even just the monthly red dot would be considered bearish. But I'm not looking at this as the same as I would be looking at this one right? It's a little more bearish when you see it pop up like this. So that is, that's kind of how I'm looking at this monthly bearish divergence. But yeah, and like you could see even here, right? Because if you want to connect the tops through bear markets, this would have been extremely worrisome, right? Because you have the higher high on your price action, lower high on the momentum wave, right? If we just come into bar replay mode, it's almost the same exact situation that we have going on right now, right? You had a high and a higher high, but that higher high is happening within a whole new bull market. So at this point, you would expect, the bear market to begin here, right? Or a gigantic dump to happen here. Now, did we get a big dump? Absolutely, right? So it didn't mean nothing, right? Obviously, this was the dump in, when was this? This was in May of 2021. So yeah, you dump here, but it wasn't the end of the bull market because we did wind up coming in and putting in that higher high. So there you go, right? And then you can see when it happens at the top here, we get that much bigger move into the bear market. So hopefully that makes sense. And again, not that I'm not taking it seriously at all, but with where we are in the market, it's not necessarily where you would see a monthly bear div and a nuke down to a new bear market, but definitely something I'm open to if things start to look really bad. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. And I guess it depends on how you define a bear market, right? Technically, for me, right, a bear market would be, when you're looking at something like the weekly chart, I use a mix between the 4-year cycle and market structure to define a bear market. So again, guys, we are pretty high here. So I don't want anyone thinking just because that I said that about the monthly bear div that we can't get a big move down, right? Like I said, we can get a move down to 51 to 52, even 40K, we can get a move down to. For most people, this is like the end of the world. For me, my average entry price on Bitcoin is around 20K. So for me, it's funny. It's like people are like, hey, Frank, I know you work in crypto. Are you okay, man? I heard it's crashing. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, I bought down here. What do you mean it's crashing? I'm just up a little less, right? And I don't say that to brag or anything, but that's just to say, even if we went down to 40K, I'm still up 2x on my long-term Bitcoin. And sure, can you sell it all up here and then buy back down here? People might say, well, Frank, why would you not just sell here if you think it could come down there and rebuy? Because I don't know, right? I'm not sure it's going to come down here. And if it does go down there, I leverage trade, right? I'm a day trader. I short-term trade this stuff, and I will capitalize on that move. But all the Bitcoin that I bought down here, I'm just going to hold it, right? I'm not, because the chances of selling here and then it not getting to your level and you don't buy back in, oftentimes you will wind up buying back higher. So for my long-term bags, guys, I bought them down here. I'm holding them for the long term, right? And then again, we could capitalize on the moves to the downside, but not really for the long-term bags. So yeah, if we do come down, I mean, maybe some people would consider that a bear market. I think that's silly. I would not consider this a bear market. But technically, you could say this is a bull market, right? Because it's a bullish macro trend, right? You have higher highs and higher lows. Technically, that would be a bull market, right? Because the bulls are in control. But for me, I really look at the 4-year cycle more for the bull and bear markets, as well as market structure. But yeah, not that we can't pull back, right? But a lot of people would think that's a bear market. That is not a bear market to me. This is not a bear market to me. This is not a bear market to me, right? A bear market is maybe lower than that. This would be kind of annoying to do. If we came back down to 30K, that would not be good. But anyway, hey, shout out to Kelly Kellum. What is going on, bro? Thank you for that super chat. He said, I'm brand new here. This is where we get high and he said, this is where we get the high and tight cuts. Where's the sauce? Shout out to Kelly Kellum. What is going on, brother? Thank you for being here. Kelly, what do you think is going to happen? Let us know. You bullish? Are you bearish? Do you think we're going to go into a fresh bear market? I personally don't. But let me know what you think in the chat. Shout out to Kelly Kellum from BitLab Academy. Shout out to you, bro. Guys, go check out his channel. He's doing some awesome stuff over there as well. Does a lot of really cool on-chain stuff. So shout out to Kelly. Thank you for tuning in, brother. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Stomp. Said, pin my next comment. I got you, brother. Bada boom. There we go. Thank you for that, Rob. I appreciate you. Shout out to Darren Does Things. What's going on, brother? Thank you for being here. Okay. Yeah, anything below 42K. Yeah, the macro levels that I'm looking at, right? 51 to 52, this is not making me nervous at all, right? We come down to 51, 52, I still feel good, right? If we come down to 41 to 42, right? This is that next little area, next little cluster of kind of structure that we have, right? Structure number 1 would be right here, right? So that's just going to naturally be support. Right? This, to be honest, we talked about this the other day. This is honestly the stronger level to me, right? Because even though we have that 51 to 52K level on top of, I believe we have a monthly naked point of control down here as well. That's a good level. But to be honest, there's not much here, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if we came down to this more established range and tested some of these levels, right? But I would agree. Once we start losing this range, that's kind of where it's getting a little sketchy. But at that point, like the way I trade, guys, I make money short-term trading this stuff. So I'm not as worried about my long-term bags, right? My long-term bags are long-term, right? I'm buying Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is going up and to the right over the next 100 years, whatever it is, right? Over time, Bitcoin's going to go up and to the right. And when I have a long-term plan, like let's just bring this back. When I have a long-term plan, I'm not worried about like these little ticks to the downside, right? What I'm trying to do is time the macro tops and then let price come down, right? So, even if we did that, like I'm not looking to sell on that news, or on that move. So there you go. But yeah, 42, this is like a key area because not only do you have this, you also have a really important golden pocket there as well, right? From this first... Here's why this golden pocket is so important, and honestly, why this is kind of a more strong level of support rather than that 51 to 52K zone. And it simply has to do with the fact that we came down into the bear market. We have our macro volume profile here, and then what happened, right? We had the macro range, and then once we got on top of that value area and tested it as support, we did wind up getting the bigger move up, and then this is the fib pull from the breakout to the high here, right? Giving you that golden pocket sitting again between 53.5 and about $42,000. So again, I mean, look what happened in 2020, right? 2020, we had a 350% rally. We took a look at this yesterday as well. We had a 350% rally and then got a full correction into the full 786 retracement of that entire move to the upside. And would you consider this a bear market? You almost went all the way down to the bear market lows. But was this a bear market, or was this just a 786 retracement? Right? Was this just a macro 786 retracement? I can't pull that back up. I got to pull a fresh fib. Come on. I'm on a flow here, TradingView. Let's go. But yeah, a lot of people will be like, oh my God, it's a bear market. But here, I don't even care if you go visit those prices again because that's really just a 786 retracement. And I'm not saying this is likely to happen again, but if this same thing did happen, you'd be looking closer to about $27,900, right? And, again, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm not saying it would be bullish for that to happen. Obviously, it's a move down. But, just remember, when we did that in 2020, all the people who got shuck out here literally sold their last chance to get in before the real move. So you got to be ready for those little freakouts in the market. That's why in a bull market, when you're clearly in a bullish trend and you are clearly in a bull market, for the most part, I'm looking to buy the dips. But again, it doesn't mean that we can't come down into another big bear market. But, this is why, I'm pretty tolerant to the dumps, right? Like when we came up here and we dumped down, whatever this was, what was this? 21%. I wasn't looking to sell the Bitcoin I bought down here. So if we go from here to here, why would I be looking to sell the Bitcoin that I was, going to, if I wasn't going to sell it down at 26K, why would I sell it up here at 57, right? Or 51. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. And that's why I like to take a information and data-based approach to the charts here, guys, because it helps you keep your emotions out, right? If we were looking at the 786 retracement back in the day when that 2020 event happened, right, this would kind of be looking like, oh, my God, last line of support. Sure, we wicked down below it. But really what would be super bearish here and invalidate the continuation to the upside. When you start, right, you have a low, a high, right? And then if we're going to continue the uptrend, you need that higher low to come in. So when you had this move to the upside, let's go into bar replay just so we can see it in real time, right? You get the 350% rally, and now you're sitting here like, okay, oh man, we got, I'll try to find like a bearish signals here. Let's see. 3-day, can't really find it. But, if you pull your fib here, it's be like, okay, hey, where can we look for price to potentially come down? And let me say here, guys, if we were looking at price here, I'd be saying, hey, guys, not impossible to get a move down to our golden pocket or our 786 retracement, right? I did not have my YouTube channel here at the time. But the long-term analysis here for me would be a weekly candle close below that 786 to invalidate the higher low and continuation to the upside, right? Because once you close candles and can't get back above that 786, that invalidates the higher low, and you would definitely be looking for lower prices. But what happened here was we simply wound up getting that big dump to the downside. I'm gonna have to go ahead and go a little quicker here. Come on. Come on, price, move. There we go, right? And now you're coming down to the golden pocket, and you're like, okay, maybe we bounce here, but if we lose that golden pocket, I'm not going to be super shocked if we make a move for that 786. And then as soon as you start losing that golden pocket, you're looking down towards that 786. Actually held the golden pocket for a second. And then eventually, I wish I could play this faster on the weekly. I don't know why TradingView does. Boom. right? And now you're sitting here and you're like, oh, God. Oh, we're on the 6th day. This is pull up the weekly real quick. Sick. There you go, right? So we are holding that 786 as support, and then boom, once you break that golden pocket, you could look for the next higher high to come in, right? Because we need to hold that 786 to put in the higher low and look for the higher higher, the break of structure, right? And then what happens is you simply get above that golden pocket. Man, I wish this weekly would play back faster. Come on. There we go, right? And then you get the move. Bada boom, bada bing. It's boring. It's ugly. Everybody was probably super scared here. And then eventually you go off into that parabolic bull run. And won't you know, looks like, there you go, right into your spider lines, right? So again, right, that would make me not as bearish if we wind up seeing that big move down, right? I would not like to see that macro 786 hit. If we did come down to that macro 786 at around $27,000, I would expect some kind of crazy black swan to accompany that move. But yeah, just when in doubt, zoom out, guys. This is literally a pixel on the screen. Nothing too scary. All right, let's go ahead and continue on here. Shout out to Nima says, I have no more money to buy anymore. I bought alts last year, and surprisingly, still in a loss. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the alts are the ones that are taking the hit, right? The alts are starting to get pretty clapped up here. But not even. Some of them are holding up pretty well. But speaking of the alts, guys, let's go ahead and move into Ethereum here really quick. So here we go. Let's come on over to the lower time frame. Look at the 4-hour. This is my short position, obviously. Looking for that short above the value area high. Once you get that short entry, you're looking for price to get back into your range, go to your POC, and then you could potentially look for it to go to the value area low. However, this is... right now, we are technically holding support above that POC. But as we talked about yesterday and the day before, as it's like the only thing to talk about, is the POC acts as a magnet, right? So it's not uncommon to see price action just cling to that POC. And, doesn't mean just because we're up above it right now does not necessarily mean that we are going to hold on it and just get that big move to the upside. And to be quite honest with you, as we look at money flow here, that 16-hour money flow crossing over into the red does look like we could get some more downside. So we may, if we lose that POC decisively, that is where I'd look for the bigger move down to our next key level, sitting at the value area low golden pocket confluence, which is specifically sitting between 32.91 and 32.05. In which case, if we did wind up getting that, beautiful. My short will continue to play out in full. And if it doesn't, and we just wind up ripping up here, let me pull up that trade real quick for you guys. I am still holding my Ethereum short, as I showed earlier. I already have profits taken out, right? So if I do get stopped out on that short, simply put, I will get stopped out in profit, make money on the short, right? If we wind up getting the pump, I will stop out of the short in profit, right? My stop loss is not up here anymore. But if I we'll get stopped out in profit, and then the longs will continue to pay us out, at least on Bitcoin. I'm not in an Ethereum long, but I'm in multiple Bitcoin longs. Some from 40K, some from down here. So we are holding multiple longs, right? So we're just basically, I was talking to people today, earlier today, just saying like, I'm basically in a situation where I'm just waiting for some of my trades to get stopped out so the other ones run. Other than that, like this is a waiting game. Super, super boring price action. But anyway, let's see. Shout out to Results Only Club says when you start shorting the market in a bull run, we're going to a bear market. Who shorts in a bull? Shout out to Results Only Club. Well, I short in a bull. I short in a bull market, as I just showed. I am currently short in a bull market, up $1,200, and I have I think $500 locked in profit. So yeah, you can easily make money shorting in a bull market. However, you just have to understand the context of those moves, right? We also had a short set up in the premium Discord to go short at this value area high, looking for price to go to your POC and the value area low. That is almost played out completely in full, but you have to understand the context of your shorts, right? Because in a bull market, you don't, contrary to the belief of most people, especially people who are new to crypto, they just think it goes up in a straight line. But in a bull market, you have many, many, many pullbacks, right? And if as a trader, right, I am a short-term trader, right? I'm also a long-term investor, but as a short-term trader, we can easily take advantage of these moves to the downside, right? So if I could pick up $5,000 on this move to the downside, I'm going to pick up that extra $5,000 if I have the skills to do it, right? But the long-term bags that we're holding continue to pay us out over time. But if we can make money on that little dip here, or this little dip here, or these little dips here, or that little dip here, or this dip or that dip, if you could pick up money on the ways down as well, a lot of people don't understand that you can do that. Why would we not do that, right? Especially if we have the tools and the skills to do it. So you can 100% short in a bear market. I'm not looking for my short. Like if I were short here from the top of the range on Bitcoin, I'm not looking for this to go down into a bear market, right? I know that and again, on this Ethereum short, I've already taken profits and moved my stop loss to break even. So if the trade goes against me, I still make money. So yeah, it's a little bit hard to understand, but you could 100% short in a bear market, and you could long in a short in a bull market, and you could easily long in a bear market, right? Because the price, all we need as traders is price to move, right? We don't have to call this entire move. We can make money off of any of these moves, right? I can make $5,000 on that little move to the upside, right? Assuming there was a trade to be had, right? Right? This little move to the downside, you can make $1,000 there. You can make $5,000 there. You make $10,000 there, depending on how much money you're trading with. And it's all about understanding where the market is going to go next, being able to predict somewhat of the direction of the move that you're looking for, and then just knowing how to manage your risk to capitalize, make that money while also protecting your capital. So hopefully that makes sense for you, brother. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Alfonso. Nice name, brother. He says, "Hey, Frankie, question. How can I get over the rut I'm in? I follow your trading style, and when I practice, I get 7 out of 10 winning trades. But as soon as I put money on it, it turns into dog shite. Any advice?" Shout out to Alfonso. First off, let me tell you this. You are experiencing what everybody experiences when they start trading. This is the hardest part of trading. And this is the proof, right, that, what I like to say all the time is the TA and finding the setups is about 20% to 30% of the job, right? And then the other 70 to 80% is literally risk management and emotional discipline. This is why most people lose money. A lot of people think it's because the TA is really hard or finding the setups are really hard. Now, I don't want to pretend like that stuff is super easy, but when compared to people ask me, what makes a profitable trader? And I don't say this because I read it in a book, right? I say this from experience. I have lost more trades. I have blown up more accounts than probably almost everybody in this chat right now. And this is why I understand all these issues. But this is 7 out of 10 is great, right? I went through the same thing. I would paper trade, and I would turn, it would give me $100,000 of fake money. I would turn it into $5 million in 2 days, right? Because there's no emotional attachment. And that's what makes trading so hard. The second you put your real money on the line, that is what makes trading hard. And, that's why in my Discord, right, the premium Discord, I don't do signals, right? Because the reason I don't do signals is because even if I somehow magically had a 100% hit rate and I never lost a trade or all my calls played out perfectly, 99% of people are still going to lose money, even though the setups hit out every single TP, right? If I call this short, right, and we don't know if this is going to happen, but if this does wind up breaking the POC and coming down to the value area low, which wouldn't be unlikely, if that happens, most people who I told about this trade will not make money. Chances are they'll probably lose money even if they sit in the trade as it plays out in full, because they're going to see the money come in and then they're going to want to hold that trade until they're a millionaire overnight, which will never happen, or very rare. I don't know anybody that's ever happened to. But even if it plays out in full, they're probably going to not have the emotional discipline to hold on. They're going to see that they made a bunch of money and be like, oh, wow, I'm going to wait for it to go lower and make some more money, right? And then what do they wind up doing? They wind up holding it. The price bounces. And they're like, oh, it'll come back down. Oh, there we go. It's going back down. It's going to make a lower low. And then it makes a higher low. And they're like, oh, wait, hang on. No, it'll go back down. I'm like, oh, it's going back down. And then eventually they just get stopped out at a loss, right? Or get liquidated. So this is what makes trading so hard. I talk about this a ton in the premium Discord about how to kind of manage those emotions. And I think going through the trades alongside me kind of helps because I'm able to kind of say hey, that was kind of sketchy. You guys get to see how I actually manage my risk. Hey, that move's a little sketchy. I'm going to close out this trade here, or a tight stop loss on this one for these reasons. But I think the easiest advice that I can give you, not financial advice, of course, is when you get into a trade with your own money, have a plan. This will make you successful. And it's not an opinion. I just know this. I forget who asked this. Alfonso. Shout out to Alfonso. Understand this. I went through that. Probably worse than you are, right? Because I didn't learn my lesson the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth time. I had to learn it 25 times. So here's the thing. When you enter a trade, do not, right? And all your success will lie on this, is if you can be disciplined enough to follow the plan. You have to have a trading plan. Every trade I have has a plan. If we deviate, right, and the plan starts before price hits your level, right? The plan here is if we come to the top of the value area and we deviate above the high, we can use this range to find a short entry. If we find the short entry, we want to get out of the trade if we break this high. And then if we don't, we want to hold the trade until we get back into the value area. And then we want to take partial profit at the POC. And then if we get below the POC, we'll take our second profit here at the value area low. So if we take this trade and price bounces here and comes up, set your stop loss, right? You have to have the plan, but when you're making the trade on your exchange, set your stop loss, set your take profits as orders, right? Don't sit there and take profit manually. Set the orders and walk away. Set and forget your trades. And then all you have to do is check your phone and be like, oh, okay, I got stopped out of that trade. No big deal. And then that just literally takes the emotion out of it. So have a plan, set your limit, set your stop loss, set your take profit as orders, so you can set them and forget them and not worry about them. So the hardest thing about trading is removing your emotions and managing your discipline and emotions, right? And because that is such a hard thing, that's why most people lose money. But the beautiful thing is, with modern technology, we have computers that can literally just do it for you, right? So just put it in the computer's hands. The computer's not going to think about hitting your stop loss. It's just going to get triggered, and you're going to get out of the trade. So put it in the computer's hands, because the computer does not have emotions, and you do. And it's honestly a godsend that you can do that, right? So that's what I would tell you. Shout out to Alfonso, said thank you for the advice, everyone. I'll crank the leverage down also. Yeah, shout out to Alfonso. Definitely keep it light on the leverage, especially if you're still learning or just starting with a live account. And I also recommend not using money that if you put $100 in for easy math, let's say you put $100 into your account, make sure that $100 is just don't be putting your rent money in there is what I'm saying. So there you go. That'll also take away emotion, right? Because if you're trading with more money than you're willing to lose, any of my trading accounts, especially on my DGen accounts, I could blow 5 of those accounts up in a row, and it's not going to affect me financially, right? So make sure you're doing that too, because that could literally take the emotions out of it too. If you're trading with your rent money and you lose a trade, you're going to be that much more inclined to be like, oh, God, I got to make this money back. And then that's just going to ruin your emotions. But just know, it is possible. And I'm here to help you, brother. And that's what these live streams are meant for. So shout out to Alfonso. No, you notice the thing is, you're noticing the problem. Assess it, make a change, and try it for a few weeks, right? And then just adjust from there. But it is all a head game. So anything you could put in a machine's hand, I recommend you hand it off to them. So shout out to Alfonso. Walking Dead X, shout out to you, brother. He said, Frankie, can I get a quick scoop of sauce on Turbo? Yes, let's go ahead and move on to Turbo, and then we'll jump into the rest of our altcoins. I just wanted to help out Alfonso there a little bit, and I think most people in this chat, if you're looking to become profitable traders and you're looking to make money on not only the moves up, but also the moves down in a bull market or a bear market, and you want to make consistent money in this market every week, every day, every month, maybe quit your job and be able to work for yourself and make your own money trading, which has no salary cap. It has no location lock, right? You could do it from anywhere. Not that I'm advertising that you can do this on a beach somewhere. I prefer to be in my office at my setup. Trading in a hotel room on my laptop is just not the same for me. But technically, there's no salary cap. There's no location lock. And I think a lot of people could benefit from that. And that's the biggest hurdle. It's all psychological, literally almost all of it. It's only a small portion that is the setups in the TA. All right, let's see. Yeah, shout out to Big says, if you're using rent money for trades, you're looking to gamble, plain and simple. Absolutely. Shout out to Big. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on. Walking Dead says, can we take a look at Turbo? Let's take a quick look at Turbo. Bada boom. Woo, it's hot in here. Give me 1 sec, guys. Jesus. Super hot. Okay, so let's take a look at Turbo real quick. All right. Let's see. Let's take a look at the weekly. Not going to get a lot of price action here. Oh, God, yeah, we could barely. Let me hang on. Oh, that fan feels good. Let's see. Okay, so Turbo, no money flow on the weekly, unfortunately. Let's see. Okay, this is actually interesting. On Turbo, looks like you could be set up. Is this weekly MPOC? Okay, so this is actually kind of clean cut. It's going to be quick, but it's going to be clean. Shout out to Walking Dead, as long as TradingView works here. Seek Parabolic says, oh, and never fall asleep at the computer with your long open. Biggest loss so far. Shout out to Seek. I definitely don't recommend that. Shout out to you, brother. Okay, let's see. All right, so on Turbo here, pretty nice, right? Actually got a pretty strong bounce here. However, we have this weekly naked point of control. This is very, very clean. Your next major level of resistance, ugly range, but it's okay. You have this weekly naked point of control. This is for sure going to be your next key level of resistance. Bada boom, bada bing. Turn it purple for shorts, right? So first level of resistance right now is this weekly naked point of control. That's the biggest resistance that I can see so far. But if we take a look at money flow, or not money flow, market cipher here real quick, could be set up here on the daily and honestly, a lot of the higher time frames could be set up to take this high and potentially put in a 2-day or daily bearish divergence. So typically when I see market ciphers setting up like this, where we have a oversold momentum wave, and then the momentum wave comes down a bit and that VWAP comes back up, could look for that lower high, and oftentimes that's where we see price. It helps you predict, right? Because what do we need to put this bearish divergence in? We need a higher high on price. So if that's the case, we can not only use this, which is weird, right? Because we're kind of predicting a bearish signal, but you have to get a higher high to print that bearish signal. So if we are going to front run market cipher and try to predict this bearish divergence incoming, we can look for a potential higher high to come in, breaking the highs here on Turbo sitting at 98,432. So I'll give a little freebie here. Now, I don't trade Turbo, and it is pretty volatile, so I would say be careful with this. But typically on something like Bitcoin, what I'd look for here is a swing failure pattern, potentially, especially if you can get some, let me pull these levels real quick. Oh, yeah. You're kind of setting up nicely here, right? You have your Fibonacci extension levels, your next Fibonacci extension coming in right here, right? So let me hide the fib real quick. So if we get that 2-day green dot and we come up and we start breaking these highs, you could potentially look for a swing failure pattern on this wick right here as you push into that key level of resistance. Not only could you look for this SFP, but you could also look for that bearish divergence. Even if you don't get the SFP, you could still put in the bear div, and then that would give us an idea of, hey, we're probably going to get some kind of a pullback, right? That 2-day bear div may not call for a gigantic dump, but it would at least let you know that you're probably going to be likely to get a little bit of a pullback here. So there you go. That's kind of what I'd be looking at. Pretty specific stuff. But yeah, 2-day green dot, or 3-day green dot is the 2-day printing. No, 2-day. Yeah, if you get that 2- and 3-day green dot, I'd look to take those highs and potentially look for scalp shorts up there based off that information, right? And you might say, well, Frankie, if you think it's going to go higher, why wouldn't you look for a long? And the simple answer to that is, when I look for longs, sometimes, I will try to get into the long on a higher low, right? So you could start to, pull your fibs, right? And you can look for some potential areas where you could put in a higher low to catch the long. But for me, I like to long the bottom, right? So if I'm not in a long from down here, for the most part, once we move that much, I'm more interested in just waiting for the bigger move to catch the short. Not to say you can't long here, or I never long here, right? I will do it. I will look for longs in a move like this. But in this case, I would rather wait for the move up, wait for a bearish confirmation, and get a move to the downside. Yeah, I mean, I'll just show the short side of it. It's going to take too long to look at the long side of it. But yeah, if you were looking for a long, hard to say. This is kind of a weird extended move to the upside. But yeah, you would just look for your Fibonacci retracements, look where the likely higher low will come in, and then you look for your entries at that zone. So there you go. All right, let's see. And again, that weekly naked point of control is coming in at about 72,791. So there you go. Hopefully those, let's see, Turbo's lower an engine's lifespan. Shout out to Crypto Crab, man. Oh man, I've never had a boosted car, but good Lord, my friends, a lot of my friends back in New York when I was younger had, some of my friends had Subarus with, like worked out Subarus. Like my friend Subaru is one of the fastest cars I've ever been into. Fastest car I've ever been in. I mean, other than a GTR or a Lamborghini, I think the fastest car I've ever been in was a Trans Am with a Hummer swap. It had a Hummer engine in it. And I won't tell the story, but it was a crazy one. I'll tell you that much. Anyway, let's see. Okay, let's continue on here. Let's take a look at GFI. Shout out to the outlets. We already talked about that the other day. Actually, a surprising amount of people knew what GFI outlets were. I was surprised. But let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Coinbase. Let's take a look here. So, let's see. Let's pull up some weekly naked points of control. I'm only going to pull the monthlies and the weeklies. Bada boom. I'm just going to save this as... Oh, no, there we go. Okay. Okay, so you got your monthly naked point of control sitting right here. Bada boom. And you got another one just above. Let's check the weekly. All right, you got a weekly MPOC right here. Bada boom. Up. There we go. You actually have a bit of weekly naked points of control in here. Let me redo that. Weekly. And weekly. Okay. Let's pull up the daily real quick. Yeah, I'm just going to keep these. Bada boom, I will pull this previous range so we have an idea of where that value area low is, just to give us some context of what's going on here. Boom, label the value area high, POC, value area low. So, pretty clear here. Pretty dang clear. Let me pull up the VPVR. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, for sure, this would be your next key level of support. Not only supported by the monthly and weekly naked point of control, but you also have your high volume nodes. And then key resistance would be your value area low weekly naked point of control. Bada boom. And then I would also look at this weekly naked point of control as key resistance as well. Once we take a look at money flow, we can get a better idea of what's likely to happen here. So let's take a look at the weekly. All right, weekly VWAP is pinned to the downside. Let's see, 2 and 3 day. Yeah, the 2 and 3 day green dots are looking like the next things that are going to give you a move. But if you look at your money flow, it is coming straight out to the downside. Shout out to Godzilla said, can we take a look at ETH, please? Shout out to you. We actually took a look at ETH right after Bitcoin. So if you go back to the beginning of the stream, scrub past Bitcoin, Ethereum will be the next coin, and you can go ahead and check that out. And then when you're done with that, you can hop back over here to the other altcoins. But the, money flow coming straight out here on the 2 day. 3 day also just crossed over into the red as well. So on this 2 and 3 day green dot, if we start to get a bounce, right, what does this tell us? Just like on market side, just like on our market structure, once you get that change of character, that bearish change of character sitting right here, you are going to be better off looking for those moves up to be lackluster to potentially put in a lower high and continue the move to the downside. So statistically speaking, and based off market structure, this would be the higher likelihood or the better side of the trade to be on, right? You're going to want to be looking, not that you can't long these bounces, but you're going to be looking for those shorts on the retracements to the upside to look for the lower move, right? Same thing if we break this weekly naked point of control. So level number one I would look for a potential lower high would be, let's come back down to the daily. First level would be this weekly naked point of control, which we now know is very confluent with this golden pocket, would make it pretty nice area to potentially look for some scalp shorts. If we break above that level, we can then look into the value area low, right? Oh, come on. There we go. We could look to come back up into the value area low where we also have the weekly naked point of control. And this could be another area that is a high likelihood place to put in a lower high and continue to the downside. We don't know if we're going to reject this zone or this zone, that is why trading is an if this, then that statement. If we come up to the first zone and we get bearish confirmations, we could take a stab at a short to look for the lower prices based off the change of character, right? And then if we break this level, or we hit this level and there's no bearish confirmations, and we shoot up to the value area low, weekly naked point of control, and we get the confirmations up there, then we could take a short at that level. So hopefully that is, those are the key levels, right? 294 is kind of the, or I would say the beginning of the first short zone would be $2.90. And then the weekly naked point of control is sitting at about $3.33. So these are the two major zones of resistance. And again, based off money flow, and not only that, but the market structure as well, labeled here on Lux Algo, that is going to be that next, it's going to be the higher likelihood thing to look for, right? Look for the shorts for the continuation to the downside, right? And we could, same thing with the money flow, right? When money flow comes out, that indicates the longer term trend is probably going to continue down. So here we are, right? What happens if you're looking at this chart and you see this range here, but money flow is starting to come out? This would mean that you are going to be better off looking for shorts at lower highs for a continuation to the downside rather than looking for gigalongs down at the lows, right? Does that make sense? If we zoom in here, right? Look at your money flow. It's topped out here. And then as it starts coming out, right? Let me show this, right? Because this is important and this is going to help a lot of people make a lot of money. Right? Money flows crossing over into the red. So what are we thinking at this point? We'd probably be looking at this volume profile. Come on. We'd probably be looking at this volume profile. Trading view. That's your cue. Trading view. Okay, it doesn't want to draw the volume profile. So let's say we had the value area high, the POC, and the value area low. We would typically be looking for longs at the value area low, but with the money flow coming out here, I would probably be sitting out of the long position and waiting for a retracement either into the POC or the value area high to look for the short, because I know as money flow comes out into the red here, that downtrend is likely to continue, right? And then obviously we know what happens here because we're in bar replay mode. You come back up. I don't know what we rejected. This isn't even a real POC, but I just kind of guessed where it would be. But you would be looking at that POC or maybe a golden pocket 786 retracement, which I'm sure this is probably confluent with as well. Well, would you look at that? We rejected the golden pocket 786 before the move to the downside. This is how you get on the right side of the trades, guys, right? You need to know where to look. It's not just about seeing a move up and looking for a long or getting a move down and looking for a short, right? You have to understand the context and how to actually read the price action as well as the indicators, right? Does that make sense, everybody? Put a candle in the chat or a hashtag value or a sauce can or something to let me know that you guys are picking up what I'm putting down or you're eating the sauce that I'm cooking. You have to be willing, or you have to be able to understand, hey, money flow's coming out. Even though people might be super bullish here and Twitter saying to the moon, and everybody online is saying, you're an idiot. Why are you looking for a short? This is bullish, right? You only look at the information on the charts, right? Because the chart only lies to you sometimes, right? Obviously not 100% of the time it's correct, but as you see this money flow, it's very clear to me that I'm going to be looking for shorts. Not that I wouldn't scalp long this, but I would take that long with the understanding that we're probably going to come up and put a lower high in. Where's that lower high likely to come in at? Well, it's probably likely to come in at that Fibonacci 786 golden pocket retracement. And as you guys can see, I do not call this the golden entry zone for nothing. You come up, you tap it, and what happens? You break your structure to the downside. That's how you get on the right side of the trades. It's simple market structure, right? And we use money flow and other indicators to kind of simplify and make the information kind of pretty to look at, right? Because, seeing money flow go from green into the red in this nice clean wave is a little easier to palate than trying to identify market structure as a beginner. So there you go. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on here. Okay, so there you go. Let's go ahead and come back to our current price action. So yeah, and then your key support is down here between $1.97 and $1.90. So if we come down here, could look for longs. If not, any bounce to the upside would be more likely. Remember, right? what does this look like? This is very similar to the example we just looked at. So what would we look for? We look for those, exactly what we just plotted here. 786 golden pocket. We could reject that area for a break to the downside. That would be the bias or the context that we're looking at the market in. So there you go. Hopefully that made sense to somebody. Shout out to VW John. Hit me with a hashtag Valley if you guys just learned something. And with all that being said, shout out to Greg, said, Frankie, the answer is always 13. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to Elite Ways EZ, says, Frankie, is Market Cipher a free version dependable? I don't know. Is it? I don't know. I'm not familiar with that. Is it like a Market Cipher gave like actual Market Cipher has a free Market Cipher A, or is it like a clone? That would depend, right? I do know a lot of the clones or a lot of things that are similar to Market Cipher do have differences, right? The money flow is not the same, and that's like one of the biggest things that I look at. So for me, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's completely useless, but it's not the same thing. So yeah, I would assume it's probably the same thing for what you're looking at. Exactly the same. I have no idea. But if I took a look at it, I might be able to say. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on. Yo, shout out to Fabian. Yo, what's going on, brother? He said, please, one more hour of the stream. I need to stay awake until Argentina's first match in the Copa America. Shout out to you, brother. We're cooking. We're going to keep cooking here. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to our next altcoin, which is going to be Matic. Who was asking for Matic? Somebody asked for Matic, and I wrote it down in the waiting room. They mentioned it, and I was like, I got to look at this. Let's see. Was it who was it? Who was it? It was one of our wonderful female CandleMafia members. I know that. I forget who it was, though. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. Bada boom, bada bing. Take a look at the daily. Yeah, so on Matic, we came down to both of our key levels, right? Almost perfectly, right? You get a bounce off your monthly naked point of control. Doesn't give you much. This is typically not a good sign. We may have said that as we were looking at Matic the other day. Really, off these monthly naked points of control or these high time frame levels, you want to see strong bounces to the upside, right? Strong reactions. If you don't get those strong reactions, it's not typically a good sign. And what happens? You come up, you come back down, and you break through the level, and you come down to your next zone of support, which is right between this weekly and daily naked point of control, and that is what we are holding at the moment. I will be honest with you. We are putting in a daily bullish divergence. This, I think, is exactly what we were saying we wanted to see. For a potential bigger bounce on Matic, right? Because what happened here is we had our key levels, and not only did we come into the key level, but we are now starting to put in a daily bullish divergence in on that key level, right? You have lower lows on price action into the key level with your higher lows on your momentum waves. This is the daily, typically not really a divergence to mess around with. Shout out to Flat Smack. Don't forget to flat smack that like button. We're almost at 400 likes. We got 477 people still in here. Smash it up to 550. And, yeah, I don't know. Should we just start giving away crazy stuff? Like we'll give away, I don't know. We'll give away crazy stuff. I'll give away like, I don't know. What would get people to smash a like button? I don't even know. We give away money. That doesn't seem to help. Doesn't seem like hats are the thing. What should we give away? I don't know. Give away my house. You guys can have my house. But anyway, let's continue on. Shout out to Muhammad, said, do you have the settings for Market Cipher? I do. I do not change any of my settings. The only settings I have different here, at least on Market Cipher B, is all cosmetic. It's just colors, and I have certain things turned off as the RSI, the stochastic RSI, the plots background turned off. Other than that, I just change colors. Everything else is default. So there you go. All right, let's see. Give away some ETH. If we get 550 likes, I'll give away some ETH. We'll give away XRP. I don't care. We'll give away anything. Smash that like button. But anyway, let's see. Give away the door to your studio. Yeah, it's a pretty nice door. Yeah, we'll give away the door to the studio if we get 550 likes on tonight's live stream. Let's go. You guys are funny. Give away Frankie brand plain black T-shirts. Have you guys caught on to the fact that I only wear black T-shirts? Not only wear, but like for the most part, like 99% of my wardrobe is black T-shirts. I'm pretty conservative on my wardrobe, right? I'm not like a name brand guy. To each his own. I don't know. I just feel like I've aged out of wearing like like, oh, look at this brand name. Again, to each his own. I personally feel like I've aged out of it, but I was never really into it to begin with. More of like a subtle wardrobe guy. I'd rather have some like loud shoes or like a loud hat or a loud watch. I'd rather have like a loud accessory and have just like plain clothes. I don't know why. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue. I wear black t-shirts every day. No pit stains ever. That is for sure. Shout out. That's good for a live stream too, because I'm in front of a bunch of people. You should make custom candles and sell them and give them away for free. Shout out to Jungle Boy 420. Shout out to you, bro. Good to see you. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. We should come out with some candles. Still think you need a CandleMafia temporary tattoos. Yeah, Pig Chick. You're right. Yeah, you are 100% right. I remember you saying that. We got to get those going. I love fitted plain tees. Yeah, what is the, yeah, like, I don't even think they're, like, these are, yeah, I'm not, like, a super, yeah, at least with my clothes. I'm not really a flashy person in general, but, like, yeah, I don't know. I just, like, shout out to Luna. Luna said, could you take a look at Fetch? Sorry for asking also, but I think it will do great, a great move soon. Thanks for your stream. Shout out to Luna. Yeah, we can take a look at Fetch in a minute. We've kind of gone a little sideways here on the live stream as kind of just freestyling here at this point. Yeah, you guys are funny. But anyway, let's take a look here at Matic, right? We're putting in that lower low in our key level of support with that bullish divergence on the daily. If this green dot does not give us a strong reaction, guys, probably going to see more downside. But I will say, if there's a level to bounce off of, this is probably it. Yeah, especially because, like, if we lose this, so if we pull up our VPVR real quick, bada boom. Come on, volume. We got to build another computer. This has got to be TradingView, though. I don't know why. TradingView, for some reason. I don't know why. I've never had troubles with this. But anyway, you can see if we lose these lows here. Come on. There we go. If we lose these lows, pretty big gap down to about 42 cents. You actually have a decent bit of support here. So not as scary as I would have thought, but I would look at this level right here. Label this high volume node. So we know what it is when we come down. Yeah, if we do get a break below this level, this is kind of your last line of support. It is a decent level. You have a lot of, just below this, you have decent support as well. But yeah, I don't think it's impossible to bounce here with this daily bull div. We really need this money flow to come up, though. Look at the money flow. It's just coming straight out. This is ugly. This is not a beautiful setup. You have the bull div, but money flow is literally going in the wrong direction. Same thing on the 2-day. Fresh money flow crossover into the red, but your green dot is about to print. So yeah, I don't think it's impossible to get a bounce here on Matic. We'll see what happens, right? Don't trade based off of that. This is not financial advice. But with that daily bull div, that, especially in the next hour, we might start printing a 2-day bull div, which would give you a little bit more justification for a move up. So yeah, I think probably a little short-term relief here, but it doesn't get us out of the woods of a complete and total downtrend, right? So a little relief possible. But as long as this money flow remains in the red, we would look for that to make a lower high and continue our move to the downside. So there you go. That is what I'd be looking at on Matic, or Matic, as some people would call it. If this mouse doesn't turn back on, okay, there we go. My computer is broken. Does anybody want a free computer? I will give this one away. If we hit 650 likes, I will give away this computer for free. All right, let's see. Bada boom. Shout out to Erica. What is going on? Shout out to you. Dropping the candle in the top hat. Let's go. Let's see. I want it. Shout out to Elite Ways. Let's go. All right, let's see. Yeah, I kind of want to switch to Mac, to be honest. I'm like fed up with this computer. But anyway, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, let's see. 550 likes. I'll give away 5 hats, and I'll give away some extra crypto. If we hit 650 likes, man, the hard thing is I would have to get a new computer before we give it away. Yo, Tony D said, yeah, give it to somebody who won't use Chrome. I don't want a computer that will break if I use Chrome. I know Chrome is bad. I know using Chrome is bad computer hygiene. I know having a ton of tabs is bad hygiene. But I don't want a computer that can't handle a browser. And if no PC can handle that browser, then I don't want a PC. I want a Mac. Because I can run Chrome on Mac all day long. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. Yeah, Tony D is just like gets tortured every day watching me do all the wrong things on my PC. he's like, oh, it's on fire? Why is it smoking? What do you have running? And I'm like, well, I'm running I'm running 6 versions of Exo charts. I have 75 to 80 tabs on Chrome open. I have 42 Brave browser tabs open. I'm running 17 video games in the background that have been running for 7 days. Yeah, it's brutal. I abuse the heck out of this thing. But, I mean, you should be able to abuse a brand new computer. I don't understand. Or do we need a better one, Tony? Should we upgrade it? Maybe we could just upgrade it. I don't know. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. But let's go ahead and check out Gala. Bada boom. This was commonly requested. So here we are, basically back at the POC of the range. I'll just take this chart. I think we have a newer one. But yeah, we are basically back at the POC of the range. So I would definitely be using this as our macro context for Gala. Let me go ahead and bring that back there. Turn this white for neutral. Bada boom. So yeah, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, we've been accepted, right? We broke out of the value area high, deviated, got accepted back into the range, could not get back above the value area high. And then once you get stuck, I mean, this will make you more money trading. If you want to be a trader, this will make you more money than anything I've ever found using the laws of the volume profile. When you deviate, you look for shorts. Once you break into the range and you can't get back above the value area high, you know that the next likely place for price to go, it is very likely for price to go where? That's right, the POC of the range. And where are we sitting right now? At the POC of the range. Once we lose the POC, we can look for price to go to the value area low. So, with that being said, that's the context I'd be looking at this in, right? You're on the POC, you lose this, you're probably going to the value area low. Once you deviate below the value area low, you could potentially look for some fresh shorts to go back up to the top of the range and do exactly what we did here, but in the reverse direction. So, that's, I mean, pretty clear and cut. Nothing really too much there, right? That's like about all you got. Other than that, money flow on the higher time frames, such as the 2 and 3 day, look exactly the same as everything else. Actually, you have money flow coming out. Your VWAP is coming up for a potential green dot. You do have a little bit of a hidden bull div here, if that does print a green dot. Little hidden bull div, bada boom. Could give you a bounce, right? So wouldn't be surprised if you bounce off that that POC slightly. We'll see if we can get that green dot on the 2 day in about 50 minutes. Daily, green dot is printing. Let's check that 90-minute money flow. 90-minute money flow is kind of trying to come up here. So, yeah, I don't think it's impossible to bounce off the POC. But, again, that will be short-term. If that money flow on the 90-minute crosses over, I think that will start the bigger move up. If it doesn't give you the move, you just really want to hold this POC. Because if you lose it, you're probably coming down closer to about 17 cents. So, other than that, not really too much to look at here on Gala. It looks very, very similar to everything else. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Shout out to Crypto Crabman, said, my rice cooker sings me Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star every time I start it. Just wanted to share. Shout out to Crypto Crabman. Yeah, Mrs. Candles, when we moved into the new house, Mrs. Candles needed she wanted this nice washer and dryer. And it was, they weren't cheap. I don't remember how much they were. They were not cheap, but I was like, what's so special about these? Like, and then every time the laundry's done, this thing plays me like a symphony. And I'm like, oh, so that's what we paid for? That's what you just got, like a symphony? It just plays a symphony every time your clothes are done? It's like, what is that music? I go outside. It's like washer and dryer. It's wild. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here. Bada boom, bada bing. Yo, shout out to Tony Prime, says, I've decided to sell all my crypto because I just can't take it anymore. The recent crash has hit me harder than a gym workout after New Year's resolution day. Yo, shout out to Tony. He said, goodbye moon dreams. Hello ramen. Shout out to Tony Prime. It's okay, brother. Even if we come lower, it will not last forever. You cracking me up, though. All right, let's see. Greg says, have you heard the sounds the electric cars make going in reverse? Yes, it's the weirdest thing in the world. Nothing to make you feel like you're living in the Jetsons than a car literally making spaceship noises. But, yeah, and also there's I don't know, I think it's a Nissan that literally makes like the craziest engine and blow-off valve sounds. It's like, it's insane. So if you like that of the turbos, that EV might be for you. But anyway, let's see. AI music said goat sounds. I mean, hey, shout out to all the goats. I want my car, my EV, to make goat sounds. Just drive away. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. Let's take a look at Fetch.ai and see what we can figure out on this thing. Oh, God, I really want Bitcoin to do something. I'm just so sick of looking at the same chart. Go watch DDE. Shout out to Greg. I like Daily Driven Exotics is fire. If you guys ever wonder what Frankie Candles likes to watch on YouTube, it's not crypto stuff. It's car stuff. Not really. I've actually been watching a lot of body cam footage. It's always interested me. Anyway, let's see. Rob the Crypto Snow said Maltese. Shout out to Rob. Well, let's see. Okay, let's continue on. All right, so on, let me see here. We can get rid of some of this stuff. Yeah, daily naked points of control held. I don't know what this level is. High volume node. We can get rid of that because I'll just redo that. Bada boom, get rid of the position, get rid of this. Yeah, bull div didn't really give us much there. Although it was a pretty clean 4-hour bull div. But again, what was your money flow doing? Your money flow was kind of It wasn't coming back up. It was kind of just flat. And that's kind of how you can anticipate. I always say you don't just want to long and short random bull divs, but you want to have money flow in agreements as well. So when you want to see a strong bottom coming in, and you guys know we love strong bottoms on this channel, this is more what you want to see, right? If you're not getting the money flow to come up at the time, you want to at least see money flow come up after the divergence is confirmed, right? So if you have higher lows on your price action, money flow comes up and then crosses into the green, and that gives you the strong move. But back here, essentially, you had the lower lows on price action, higher lows on the momentum waves, but your money flow was basically flat, right? So that would make you anticipate a lackluster move to potentially come lower, especially if money flow is coming out. Then you're definitely looking lower, right? But anyway, we haven't looked at Fetch, I don't think, in a while. But we've lost our range up here, obviously, gotten the big drop to the downside. Our next macro levels of support, we're sitting down here between the daily naked point of control and the weekly naked point of control. And, oh, baby, were they holding good. Just came right down, stuck that weekly naked point of control, and that's what we got the strong bounce from. And to be honest, this is what you want to see, right? When you come down to those weekly naked points of control, you want to see that strong bounce, not like what we were looking at before on I forget what. But you don't want to see like the lackluster bounces. You want to see big, strong reactions off these levels. And that would potentially so yeah, that is nice to see. We held support, which is nice because to be honest, if you lost this, we were probably coming much lower, probably around 75 cents. And look what we stuck on. This, you know what this looks like? This looks like our little spot here on Bitcoin between 51 and 52K, right? Especially because we do have, I believe, monthly and weekly naked points of controls down there as well. I think they're ExoChart weekly naked, so I don't know if it's going to come up here. Let's see, monthly. Yeah, monthly naked point of control coming right in that 51 to 52K zone as well, right? So it's very similar. If Bitcoin dumps down here, I will be looking for longs. And you might say, well, isn't that bearish? Well, so is this, right? This, oh my God, this is super bearish. Why would you look for longs? Well, you would have done very well on that long, right? Even if it's not going to continue up, you could still profit off this move. So this is still your key support between, I would say, $1.27 and $1.09. Still going to be your key levels of support. Money flow kind of going in the right direction. It's kind of flat locally here, but it is headed in the right direction. Take a look at the 8-hour VWAP coming down. Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if you start to cool off a little bit here. Do we have any daily naked points of control here? I'm going to go here pretty quickly. Come on. Come on. There we go. Bada bing. Pull up the daily naked point of control. We'll mark that out right there. And then I will pull a fib from the low to the high. And look at that. We do have some confluence there. Actually, even if you pulled it from a little closer, what about this impulse? I don't hate that. Let's go ahead and mark that out. Sitting right here. If you do pull back, I wouldn't really be too worried until we start losing this 786, sitting at about $1.36. Golden pocket coming in at $1.44. So if I were looking for longs on this, which I'm not, but if I were, I'd be looking to long the higher lows on that golden pocket or that 786. Going to be key local support here, right? And then if we break down, your macro support is still sitting down here at these tapped weekly and daily naked points of control. And then once you lose that, probably going to be looking much, 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 much lower for fetch, potentially down here to about 77 cents. So there you go. But until we lose these lows, no reason to look all the way down there. I would look for a potential continuation, especially if we can see money flow continue up, right? Especially on some of these other time frames, like 4 hour, looking not too bad. 2 hour, 1 hour's in the green. Yeah. So you could even continue up here potentially. If I'm going to make this is a blind guess, guys. This is not easy to predict. I would probably put less than a 1% chance, not less than 1%. I'd say like less than a 40% chance that this actually happens. But if I had to make a random, super specific prediction, you can't do this, right? There's no way to actually predict this. But this is a guess. This is not legitimate. This is speculative, and I am guessing. The way Market Cipher looks here on the 2 hour, if we print a green dot here and we take these highs, I do think maybe that's what starts to move down to your golden pocket retracements, which at that point would be a little bit higher up, but we'll see what happens. But other than that, those are the key levels. Yeah, money flow not looking too bad on the medium time frame. So maybe continued relief here, but higher time frames as far as the 2-day. Like that money flow is bearish. So that's the long-term trend. This 2-day money flow would indicate that the longer-term trend may continue to the downside, right? Doesn't guarantee it, but that's what the higher time frame would read as. So there you go, guys. Let's see. All the kids are doing it. Oh, God. Wick, what are the kids doing these days? What are the kids doing? I feel like the kids are crazy these days. But anyway, guys, with all that being said, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys for hanging out till the end. Shout out to AI Music as everything said. Frankie, do you do back testing or only real trades? Which tool is good for back testing our strategies? More of automated back testing, maybe. Shout out to AI Music. I will say this. More often than not, or not even more often than not, I've never really used an automated backtesting like program or software. Lux Algo has one, I believe. I don't have too much experience with it. It looks really cool. But for me, when I backtest, right? For me, when I backtest, I am doing this. Right? And I go, boom, okay, right? And then I'm doing my TA, right? Treating it just like a live chart, right? I'm looking here. Oh, okay, cool. Here's my volume profile. This is resistance. If I could get back up above this value area low, maybe we can come to the high. And then we're looking at Market Cipher, right? And then we simply just, I would just simply live backtest like that, right? And in my way to do it, just because it mimics real trading, right? It's not just kind of plugging in information and just getting a statistical likelihood of your trades playing out. So this is how I've always done it. I'm not saying backtesting softwares are bad by any means. It's just how I do it. It's grueling and hard, and it's. But if you're a chart nerd like me, oh, you guys can't see my screen, right? So I'm looking like I go back into bar replay mode. I'm like, okay, cool. Here's my value area. This is key resistance. What happens? We come up, we reject it, right? And then when you see these situations play out 500 times in bar replay mode, when it happens in real life, you're much more likely to, be accustomed to it, right? You're just gonna be like, oh, I've seen this a million times in bar replay mode. I know it plays out this many times. Like I know it plays out 7 out of 10 times. And if you do it enough, you'll even start to realize like, oh, this looks like all the 70 times that it didn't play out. I think this one's not going to play out, right? This is the best way to get a read on how the market moves, in my own personal opinion. You have to put the hours in. Not that it negates backtesting softwares, but I do recommend doing it like this, even if you are using the softwares as well, because this just gives you a nice flow of how price moves, right? So there you go. But with all that being said, shout out to Ralph Cryptostop. Thank you, bro. But with all that being said, he forgot about us. Shout out to Mont. You crack me up, bro. But with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys for hanging out till the end of the live stream. We got 450 likes, but not enough for a free computer. But shout out. Thank you all for hitting that like button. It's the easiest and most free way to spread the channel out and spread the good gospel of the CandleMafia to make us into a more incredible community than we already are, which may not be possible, but we're going to go for it. But with all that being said, guys, I will see you tomorrow, same place, same time, right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. Please, for the love of God, hopefully Bitcoin does something. I don't care if it pumps or dumps. I'm just waiting for I'm either waiting for the shorts to get stopped out or the longs to get stopped out and let the other trades run. But hopefully we get that move soon so we can look at some new charts and new information and have some exciting live streams coming up. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. You know the rest. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Did anybody notice that I changed my hat halfway through the stream? Let me know. Put a candle in the chat if you realized. Put an inhaler in the chat if you didn't realize. I'd love to know. I did switch. I switched it about halfway through the stream. But anyway, let's take a quick look here at Arc Block. I saw somebody asked for Arc Block. Let's go ahead and take a quick look here. Super quick look. Let's see. Take a look at the daily. We are coming up to some support, right? These levels always seem so unrealistic when we look at them until they get tapped, right? So we came down here to these 2 daily naked points of control. They were both hit. This one tapped almost to the dollar, gave us the reaction back to the upside. As long as we remain above this other daily naked point of control, we could potentially see a little bit of a change of trend here. Let's pull up the monthly. Yeah, money flow still in the red, guys. I'll be honest with you. These higher time frame money flow needs to go back into the green. This is not a bullish sign. I don't make this stuff up. I'm just bringing you the information on the charts. But big thing here for ABT, we got to see that money flow cross back over into the green. Until then, we have to anticipate those lackluster bounces to the upside to potentially get a move back down to lower prices. So we'll have to see what happens here. Super quick and dirty on there on ABT. I actually got to hop out of here for something. But with all that being said, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys. All 281 of you guys who stuck around till the end. Smash that like button on your way out. That's all I got. I appreciate every single one of you. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go. At the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy. On the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy. On the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the road, here we go, here we go. go. At the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out.